Republican congressman from Oklahoma, Tom Cole. He serves on the House Budget and Appropriations Committees. Sir, it's great to have you here. First off, Happy New Year to you. It's good to have you back on our air in 2014. So as we look at what's taking place now, and a New York Times article this morning suggesting that immigration may be at the top of House Majority Leader John Boehner's to-do list in 2014. The article goes ahead to point out that Boehner hired Rebecca Talent, a longtime immigration advisor to Senator John McCain, who has committed to what he calls step-by-step moves to revise immigration laws. And based on his end-of-year rant against Tea Party groups, supporters believe all the signs are pointing to reform. So what do you say to that? And where does this fall on your agenda? Are you in lockstep with John Boehner if immigration reform is on the agenda truly for 2014?
Well, I think you have to start with first things first. And when Congress gets back, the first thing it needs to do is pass an omnibus spending deal that takes the budget deal and actually makes it law. Otherwise, government could literally shut down on the 15th. I think we'll get that done, but it hasn't been accomplished yet. Second, you've got a farm bill that's very close to being finished. I think that would provide some positive momentum. And then third, you've got the debt ceiling coming up in early February. So I really don't see much on the immigration front until the spring at the earliest. I think those other things have to get done first.
Do you think that if that is the real logical dateline agenda, that been talking about immigration and the possibility of any type of reform is really just a red herring coming from John Boehner to buy cover for the 2014 midterms?
No, I don't think that. I think the Speaker's quite serious. I give him credit, and he's been consistent in saying he wants to pursue a step-by-step approach. 4 bills have actually cleared the House Judiciary Committee and are ready to come to the floor. So I think he's sincere about wanting to do something. I just think until you actually have the government funded, the debt ceiling taken care of, and something as essential as the Farm Bill accomplished, that talking about these longer-term objectives doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You build on success. Right. We had a little bit of success at the end of the session on the budget deal. We should follow through on that and see what's possible in the spring and early summer.
All right, we'll look for baby steps, though, on those other things. One thing that we can confirm that we're living in now, right, is the ACA. And as we talk about Obamacare, we have the administration putting out these new numbers reporting more than 2 million people have signed up through federal and state exchanges. In your home state, which refused to set up its own exchange, fewer than 2,000 have signed up. Meanwhile, as this Talking Points memo article is putting out there, some 5 million nationwide are without health care because they live in red states that declined to expand Medicaid. And those that declined, most are more conservative states in the Midwest and northern Rocky Mountains that voted against President Obama. Now, about 20%, sir, of your state is uninsured. That's some 130,000 fall into that Medicaid coverage gap as well. So will you and your colleagues continue your efforts to try to thwart Obamacare? Or will you help to push your governor in Oklahoma to accept the federal money on the table to help those in your state who have been cut off by state politics?
First of all, I respect Governor Fallin. She was actually in Congress when we debated the health care bill and was one of the leading opponent and spokespeople against it. So I don't think her mind's been changed very much, and I don't think it should be. The program is not popular in Oklahoma, never has been, and those of us that are going through, that have insurance, are actually seeing our rates go up and finding it much more difficult in terms of deductibles than it was before. So I think state government here is going to proceed slowly. In Washington, people forget, while we've tried to repeal or delay 41 times, 7 of those bills actually became law. They saved about $62 billion, over a 10-year period. So we're willing to work with the president. But look, it's the program that's been defective, and it's been the rollout that's been a problem. And you can just look at the polls and see that. So I think the president needs to come up with some fixes for what, frankly, is a pretty flawed piece of legislation.
Sir, and real quickly, because we got to let you go here, but I want to get you on the record about where we stand with unemployment benefits. I know that Senator Reid wants to bring up the extension of benefits. Do you think there's the appetite in the House to see that go through?
If there's a pay for, that is, we're not going to just add $30 billion to the national credit card, then I think there might be a possibility of doing something. Absent that, it'd never get through the House. So when we'll know the President and Senator Reid are serious when they actually tell us how they're going to pay for the extension of benefits.
Oklahoma Congressman Tom Cole. Sir, great to see you. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it.